Hello students, this is Dr. Henry and I'm your instructor for OAD 103 Intermediate Keyboarding. This particular video is designed to quickly focus on two topics: reports with section breaks and reports with preliminary pages. Before I get started, I wanted to open up a Word document that has multiple pages. Now this is our course syllabus, but it is a document that has multiple pages. And so if, for example, you create a document and in Microsoft Word and it has multiple pages, by default the system is going to consider this entire document as one continuously flowing document because it has no section breaks. So for example, this particular document is numbered starting at page 2. However, if I wanted to add in, for example, a preliminary page, such as a table of contents or an introduction or an executive summary, there could be many reasons why I would need preliminary pages. And if I wanted those preliminary pages to have a different numbering system, so for example, these are Arabic numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if I wanted Roman numerals, for example, for my preliminary pages, I will have to create a section break. Those breaks do exactly what they're called. They break up the document into different components so that I can apply different formatting features. And so I just wanted to make sure that students were aware of that or understood why someone may need section breaks and what benefit they have for preliminary pages. All right, so but depending on when you take this OAD course, your Blackboard course may look a little different, but you should have a direct link to our SAM course, which lists all of our SAM assignments. For this video, I'm just going to focus on a couple of the features in lesson 71 and 72, as those relate to advanced report features. So here in lesson 71, I'm going to go to the word drill, and I'm just going to focus on drill number 1, and it has two parts. This is lesson 71, drill 1. So I'm going to launch the first one. And again, in your SAM account, it may look a little different, but it should pretty much look exactly like this. So normally, when you open up a simulated window, it does open in a condensed window, and I want to encourage students to always maximize their screen so they can see all their choices, number 1. Number 2, the system does not penalize you if you review the document before you start on any of the directions. So for example, because this particular lesson is all about advanced report features, I may want to just review the report to see what's the topic, to see how many paragraphs, to see how many pages it has. And so sometimes that'll help me when it's time to identify the components listed in the instructions. All right, so in this instance, it says open the document. It's open. It says on the first page. So it tells me my work that I'm going to do for this simulation is going to be on page 1. It says insert the banded header. So for those of you, if you may or may not be familiar with headers, there are different kinds and styles and types of headers. And in this instance, it's telling me the exact one that I want to insert. So I'm going to go to my insert tab because insert's a keyword, and then I'm going to go to the header section. I'm going to click the drop down and notice that there are several kinds of headers, and I can use my scroll bar just like as if I was in the real Word application. I can use the scroll bar to see all the different ones. And depending on how fast this video is going, hopefully it's in line with as I scroll and not behind it or in front of it. But there is one header in here called banded, and this is the one it's telling us to select. So I'm going to click it to select it. It has inserted it in my document. Now it says click document title. Whenever you see these brackets in a Word feature, this is a placeholder. So it's telling me to click the placeholder, and in that placeholder in the header, I'm going to key the following, and it says note this will automatically appear in all caps because that's how this particular header is formatted. Then it tells me what I'm supposed to type. So I'm going to click inside of the placeholder, and then I'm going to start typing what it says, and notice it is in all caps just like it says. And I'm going to go ahead and type, it says matter, I think that's of. I'm going to type the whole thing, and once I finish typing, it immediately said correct. All right, so that was using a header in a report that has section breaks. So I'm going to go to the next one, which is L71, still on D1, drill 1, and I'm going to take a look at it. Again, I'm going to launch it and magnify. This time it says click go to footer in the navigation group. All right, so for those of you who've been using Word, there is a navigation pane and then there's a navigation group. I normally call the navigation groups tabs because you can click through each one. So these are the navigation groups. If you had a navigation pane, it would appear normally on the left-hand side and it would say navigation. And you could click in the little search bar to type, for example, and I'm on, because I still have the syllabus up, I'm gonna just go to it, and I know you can't see my, I'm gonna collapse it down so that you can see all of my little headers. But if I wanted to view and then go to navigation pane, this is just an example of the navigation pane versus a navigation group. So hopefully that was helpful. So it says click go to footer in the navigation group. And it says we're going to insert the banded footer this time, which includes the page number. And then it says click on close header after we're done. All right, so we need to go to the navigation group and locate the words locate the words go to footer, for example. Now, because it's already open on one, I'm going to look here and I see go to footer. So luckily for us, it was already on the navigation group that we needed to be on, which is the header and footer tools design tab. I call them tabs. And notice the go to footer button. So I'm going to click to go to footer. And what it did, it navigated us directly to the footer. And it says here is where we want to insert that banded footer. So because we're already in the header and footer tools where we need to be, I can go to the footer section instead of going to insert, click my drop down, locate the banded footer. Notice it says it's going to have a page number, which it does. I click it, it's there. Then it says close the header and footer. It's normally a X with like a red or orange looking background. So I'm going to close it, and then it says that's correct. All right, for the next part of this video, I'm going to skip to lesson 72 word drill. And I'm going to look at a part that has preliminary pages. So I'm going to go, this whole thing is preliminary pages, but there's a particular drill in lesson 72 that has preliminary pages. So here it is, report with preliminary pages. We're going to take a look at this one. And again, I'm going to expand it, and it says, in the body of the report. Okay, so this is a very key component because I'm not familiar with this report because I didn't type it. So I look here and I see, okay, it has 6 pages. So I want to kind of just scroll through. Okay, this is my title page that's normally, and then I got preliminary pages, there's table of contents. Okay, now I'm starting with the body of my document. So I'm now where I think I need to be because it says the body of the report. Then it says select the first subheading under section breaks and key the following. Okay, so here's the main title of this page. Now, sometimes you have to look at the headers and subheaders to see which one is the header and which one is a subheader. So just looking at this, it says it's going to be under the subheading section breaks. So you could say that each of these is a subheading, but some of them have a lower level than the initial one. So section breaks, if you look at it, it has a higher font, just looking at it visibly, than some of these. And it tells me it's going to be under this section. And so this is a subheader, but there's a lower subheader under this, and it says we're going to type the following. Okay, so I believe this is the select the first subheading under section breaks. So here's the section breaks subheader, and this is the first one under that. So I believe this is where we need to be. So we're going to select it and key the following. So it's going to end up being selecting types of section breaks, and currently it says types of section breaks. So hopefully the only thing I need to do is type the word selecting and space. Okay, and then the system said that that was correct. Okay, so again, tips for, oh, I didn't mean to close that whole thing, but anyway, tips for when you're doing these reports is sometimes you yourself may need to navigate through the pages and really pinpoint what it's asking you to look at before you even begin to do the steps. All right, again, this is Dr. Henry, and I'm your instructor for OAD 103. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please reach out to me via email. My email address is shenry@lawsonstate.edu. Bye.